Do you get a lot of no-shows, or maybe you get a lot of low-quality appointments? So people that show up to your sales calls, but they can't afford it, or maybe now's not the right time. So in this training, I'm going to show you how to overcome that. So people show up that are eager for your appointments, and they actually have the money and are ready to buy right now. Yeah. So my name's Luke Charlton, aka the Aussie Hermit. And when I first started out in my coaching business in 2000, I got certified in 2012, and then I really kind of tried to ramp things up in 2013. One of the things that I used to do was I did a lot of marketing strategies, right? So I went to networking events. I had my Google Hangout show. I did found people through LinkedIn. I had my own LinkedIn group, Facebook groups. I did my own meetup group. I mean, you name it. I did cold calling. I did cold email. I did my own workshops. So yeah, you name it. That I did it, right? And through a lot of doing a lot, I generated a lot of appointments. I didn't get many clients, but I generated a lot of appointments. And one of the things that I found was that a lot of people that I would be speaking to, they couldn't afford it, or now wasn't the right time, yeah, or a lot of the time that they didn't show up, right? So and that's probably one of the most frustrating things. Like you busted your butt doing all these marketing strategies the gurus are telling you work, right? You finally get people booking into your calendar, and you're excited. You show up to the call, and then they don't show, and then you try to call them and they don't pick up, and then they reply and they go, oh yeah, I totally forgot that that we had this call. Like, is that not one of the most frustrating things? Or when they don't reply at all, that is like super frustrating, especially for when you really need the client, right? You need that cash flow. And that was for me. Like, I was living in London, one of the most expensive cities in the world at the time. I'm back in Canberra now. And I really needed the money. So being that place of need is not fun. When people don't show up. So if that's you right now, I totally understand that frustration. Now, what really turned it all around for me is what I want to share with you in this training was when I read this book called 80/20 Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. And he shared with me the value of an email list, right? So he shared with me that an email list, and if you've seen my story before, an email list is like an 80/20 curve, right? It's not like a flat, let me share with this to you right now. It's not like a flat curve like this. So if this is what people earn, and this is the people on your list here, an 80/20 curve, your list is not like this, right? Where you've just got a bunch of people on your list and they're all broke, right? And what 80/20 tells us, because it's a law, right? It's a scientific law that affects almost everything in nature, from how many people, like, so it'll say like 80% of people will drive on 20% of the roads, as an example. And also says 20% of people will earn 80% of the income, right? So that's why you see, like, there's the wealth curve, right? We've all seen that wealth curve. Even if we went into a full-blown communist society and took everyone's confiscated wealth, eventually it would get, and gave everyone like an even amount of money, eventually it would come back to this, because the law of 80/20 makes it so. So the reason why I bring that up is your list is exactly the same, right? So your list is an 80/20 curve. It's not full of dead broke people. There are actually people, even if you've had a lot of conversations with people that say they can't afford it, right? There will be people on there that actually that actually can afford it. So they're not telling you, the truth a lot of the time. But the point is that you do have money on the list. There is actually money in your list. So that's the thing that really turned it around for me, and what started my journey to start investing my time in getting good at email. Yeah. So I got good at email, started getting consistent flow of appointments with email. And one of the things that I noticed with email was that once I started generating appointments, these people that were getting on the phone with me, they already had a relationship with me, right? Because I'd been emailing them consistently. They already wanted to sign up to my program, because in your emails, when you're delivering content, you're also naturally talking about your program and your services and the benefits of those. So they got really excited about that. Yeah. So then and the other thing is, they knew that I could help them. They knew I was an expert, because every day I'm sending an email where I'm delivering content, right? So I'm demonstrating my expertise. It wasn't like, a really popular funnel. This is something that I did for years, right? It's like the thank you page, the typical thank you page funnel, right? Where you have an ad like this, and you drive traffic to an opt-in like this. And then on the thank you page, you pitch a phone call with you. And if this pitch is good, you'll get appointments. And you'll get people, lot won't show up, but you will get people showing up. But here's the thing: those people that show up, they've come from an ad, right? So they don't. There's no relationship there. They haven't been on an email list for any length of time. They've just seen an ad, opted in for your lead magnet, and now they're on a sales conversation with someone that they don't really know. So from there's a lot of work for you to do to sign them up to, especially a high ticket program, which a lot of coaches are selling. You know, a $500,000 to most people is going to be a high ticket program. So you're going to, on the sales, so basically what that means is you have to be good at selling. You have to be good at building up the know, like, and trust, the showing your expertise and presenting a really good offer. And I'm not naturally good at selling. So when I discovered email, it was like a godsend because I could build the relationship before I actually spoke to someone on the phone, demonstrate my expertise, talk about my program so that by the time someone was in my calendar, they already knew me. They already saw me as an expert and they wanted to sign up. So if you are getting a lot of no-shows, if you're getting a lot of low-quality appointments, then for me, it's about delaying that pitch of getting on the phone. It's about building that relationship with email. And that doesn't, like in email, I still pitch in every email. As soon as, like the first email that they're coming on, I just have a soft call to action in each of my emails to drive them to my appointment. But the way that they come onto the phone is they know that this isn't like a free discovery call. It's not a free strategy session. They know that the reason why they get on the phone is because they are interested in signing up to my program, right? So that's the benefit of email. I'm actually pitching my program. I'm not pitching like as I said, a free blueprint, free roadmap, free strategy session, free discovery session. At the end of my emails, I'm pitching my actual program. It's like, hey, if you're interested in helping, if you're interested in like getting a flow of clients, I have this great program called the 15-minute client. Go here to learn more. They read about it and then they apply to get on the phone with me. Yeah, and as in like they want to sign up to the program. So because of the power of email, I'm getting only those people that are ready to sign up to my program. Yeah, it's really hard to pitch someone a high ticket program on that thank you page that they've just come from an ad. It doesn't work like that. That's why you'll see like on the thank you page, you have to pitch like a free strategy session or a free roadmap or a free blueprint, like a free sexy something to get them to kind of entice them to because they don't know you, right? So you've got to change the offer. So for me, if you want better quality appointments, it's about using, again, email's not sexy, right? But notice how all the gurus out there that they might be teaching the latest bot strategy or tripwire funnel or whatever complicated automation, they're still using email as the bedrock of their business to get a consistent flow of customers and clients. Yeah, it's funny that they don't teach it, but they use it. So that's what for me is like the simplest way to get really good quality appointments is to just use plain old simple, I've heard it before, email follow-up. Yeah. So if you're interested in learning how to use one 15-minute daily email to bring in people that are ready to buy your programs and services before you speak a word to them. Yeah, so using the power of email follow-up. Then I've got a really great workshop called the 15-minute client. You'll just around this thing, you can around this video, you can click on here and you can go access that workshop. It's on demand. You can watch it at your own time and it's not the typical guru webinar, right? Where there's a 45-minute rate to richer story, then 15 minutes of fluffy content, and another hour pitch. It's not like that at all. It's a balls to the wall, hard teaching. You're going to need to bring a pen and paper to write a ton of notes. We go for about 2 hours and 10 minutes, so there's a lot in there that you're going to learn. And the other thing is you're going to be able to take this information, this system, and use it in your own business right away. Yeah, right after the workshop, you can start using this 15-minute daily email in your own business to start getting a consistent flow of clients. The one thing I will say is that you do actually need an email list, right? So you have absolutely no email list. Well, I mean, you can still join, but the email that you learn is not going to do much for you, like if you don't have your own email list. So I will say that it doesn't have to be a massive guru list, but you do have to have an email list that we can send this daily email to. Yeah. So with that being said, if you want better quality appointments, that's what I recommend. Plain simple. I've heard it before. Email follow up. You want to learn more? Please attend the 15-minute client workshop. You're going to absolutely love it. So click here now. Go register. Bring a pen and pad of paper to write a ton of notes. And hopefully I'll see you there. See you then. Cheers.